Hey guys, David here from Living for Growth. This is one of the first videos of this channel, which will be covering all about self-improvement, becoming our best versions of ourselves, and getting out of our comfort zone. It's exactly what this video is about, actually. Getting out of your comfort zone, and this is going to be split into 3 parts, so I hope that everything helps you along your journey of self-discovery and growing as a person. So yeah, if anything you'd like to know more about me or channel ideas, give me some comments below. Within that, let's get to it. Part 1, family ties. This is a very sensitive topic for a lot of people, and I feel that this can really begin to unravel your beginning beliefs of what our environment tells us who we are, what we're supposed to do in life when we're older, and who are we supposed to become. I don't believe this. I think that if we are tending to challenge ourselves from where we grew up, so we're all born somewhere. So if we know that what our environment, our friends, our family, our people in our lives that are closest to us, we need to know that we're allowed to do new things that are not a part of us. Because we are this bubble, and the world is this gigantic millions of other bubbles. So if we're able to mesh our bubble with any of those other ones, bubbles have a chance to either pop or they can expand as they begin to build on top of each other. So imagine your 3 to 5 friends that you spend the most time with. As we know, this is what will shape our environment to begin with, but even if that is just less than 5 friends, or those 1 to 2 close people that you can rely on, you now know that's part of my bubble, but could I help them to expand theirs so then I can ultimately expand mine in the future? This is a huge insight that I think that we need to learn first. So it's never going to be easy to either pop the bubble that we're used to being in to conjugate into another one. But I know that if we start with this, we can really discover who we can become in the future, how impactful that may be if we just see what other bubbles would I want to grow into, what I want to try out, what I want to take a step into, maybe fail, maybe mess up. But this is how we get out of our comfort zone into something better and somebody greater than who we are right now. Part 2, the world versus you. So America really does its very best, and the world in general, to really put us into a consumer-driven mindset, and how that can really put us into certain conjugates and systems of, I'm the one that loves to shop and travel and spend my money on luxuries and pleasure items, because that's what is attracted as you begin to have more money. You begin to have a bigger income and a bigger facilitation of your surroundings, and you're able to go and experience more of those, which is a good thing. But if we happen to go into those experiences without a real reason of, why does this give me happiness or value? What is the purpose of going to this destination to just have a good time and really forget about it at the end of the day? And when we're younger, we usually are very fearless. Our inhibitions and our way of doing things as children, I mean, it's very freeing, and a lot of it doesn't have to really be thought of as much. We just kind of go and do it. We go into that forest that is uninhabited and looks kind of scary, but it's actually amazing. And it ends up being a memory that even somebody like me who's at this age can remember. And I lived on this street that always had this one house that wasn't lived on. Nobody lived there. And I was so curious. That gave me the curiosity to go and explore that. So take those things that made you want to explore as more of as a kid into now you're an adult or a teenager, and you have these chances to continue being curious. The world doesn't have to weigh you down. It's more of, how can I express my curiosity as an adult or a teenager in that way? For me, what I did was I did video games was my world that I escaped to. You should know about this as I have a podcast for Living for Growth as well. But when I realized that video games were that thing that gave me that awe and wonder of the world, but actually it's somebody else's world, I understood that I could create the same thing. So now it was just taking more of what was so awe-inspiring of video games and putting that into the real world. What was so inspiring about that? And what made me want to create more of what I do today? And so that's just one example, but it could be anything. It could be you love to walk, you love to be active, you are such a sweet and kind person, so you love to give advice. You love to do hobbies like knit for other people, you love to make things, you're crafty. Explore that trait of yours that we all have inside of us. We just have to go more into what we were curious about as a kid. How can I have more of that as an adult? Part 3. Non-judgmental growth. So what do you mean by non-judgmental growth? How does that compare to growing, but I'm judging my actions because of that? Well, it's actually not that much different. You're still growing in the same way, but we're not being as normal and okay with judging ourselves such in a toxic manner that we want to stop what we're doing. Instead, take it from a non-judgmental point of view. Your way of looking at your growth is like taking another step. We just need to continue taking one step after the other. So we're not focusing on the hundreds of steps ahead, but just doing one step after the other, and then growing from that, appreciating what we are able to manifest and grow. That's going to show dividends if we're just focusing on what is the journey that has to get there step by step, without judging ourselves that, oh, I could have done that video better. I could have talked to that person better. I could have given this advice better. Aren't we doing the best we can already? Can't we just accept that humans are going to mess up just like we're supposed to, because we have to grow and learn from our mistakes in order to really see the other side of the outcome that we actually want to get to? So what can help you with a non-judgmental growth pattern is to, one, of course, give yourself the gratitude that you are alive another day. You've survived the hardships that you've came to this point, and that you're trying to make a better choice and changes for your future. Know that gratitude, then create that into positive mind loops. So you're starting your day with a positive mindset and then creating that into an external positive environment for yourself. So that's making sure your environment is clean, it's orderly if that's what you like, but it's just filled with things and people and substances that are going to help you, give you that grace and determination and solitude that you're doing okay, you're on the right path, and I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. So if we know exactly where we're supposed to be and we're feeling like that, we're feeling like we're that person, take that into what you're trying to do for that growth-minded opportunity. You want to build the business? Then knowing that you're in that right position. You are that person that are supposed to create that thing, or that is supposed to go to get that degree to help other people, to go and talk to that person that you have been crushing on for a while, but you know that It's just been time to do so for a long time. So give yourself that grace and gratitude. Surround yourself with that positive environment, people, things, content that you consume. Make sure that that's positive enough to give yourself those positive loops in your mind, and then go after that. Take those in, put that into a journal. Make sure that the journal is very positive as well. Don't beat yourself down, but know that that's your place of release. You can release those things into the world, and then that can help you to eventually release those into other things, creatively, lovingly, spiritually, whatever it could be. But that is the key to being more positive in your growth-minded adventure, non-judgmentally. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed these 3 parts to getting out of your comfort zone and allowing yourself to actually step into your best self, and hopefully this helped you. If it did, please leave a comment to see where you're at on your growth-centered journey. How can I help? What kind of videos would you want to see out of Living for Growth here on the channel? And if you want more content, go on to my podcast, Living for Growth, and we talk all about becoming better versions of ourselves, helping each other out life, and anything beyond that that you're trying to go into more, we're here for you. So until next time, see you in the next video. Blessings.